Has Micah Parsons turned the Packers into NFL's best team?
Yes, he has. I give up, and I give it up to Micah Aaron Parsons,
Whoa.
who has suddenly turned back into the baddest pass rusher on this planet. He has ignited that team and that town and that Packer nation to invincible early season heights, but invincible. Never seen anything quite like it before. They are playing at the extremely highest level in the National Football League, and yes, they are the best, even beyond the Eagles, the Bills. We can kick that around, but right now it's all about the Packers, because right now Micah Parsons is shot out of a cannon on every single play. He said after the game Thursday night on Prime's postgame show, he said, "I'm playing pissed off," which pissed me off because he never played pissed off over the last 3 years in Dallas, Texas. I didn't see anywhere near this effort, this energy, this intensity from Micah over the last 3 years, in which 2 of his veteran teammates accused him publicly of caring more about his podcast than winning football games in Dallas, Texas. That was DeMarcus Lawrence and that was Malik Hooker. So I'm just, they're team leaders who took him to task publicly for his podcasting and his tweeting. So all I can tell you over the last 3 years was that it was almost like he put it in cruise control and was already counting the Sundays before he started counting his money, because he knew Granddaddy Jerry was going to make him the highest paid defensive player ever and the highest paid non-quarterback ever. So maybe he needed this. Maybe we in Dallas needed this, because I'm tired. I got sick and tired over the last 3 years of having to file a missing Parsons report after those games, because he was a missing person during so many big games over the last 3 years since his rookie year, when he played like this as a rookie. He wrecked games as a rookie. So to me, the last 2 games that we've seen him play on big stages for the Green Bay Packers are an indictment of what he didn't do over the last 3 years in Dallas, Texas. But I give it up because so far, so great. Remember, he joined a top 5 defense with 3 other first-round picks across their defensive front, and they are front-running because every snap he's played has been with the lead, so he can do exactly what he does best. And they have destroyed 2 really good football teams. We saw Detroit bounce back yesterday and go 52 on Chicago in Detroit. But listen, Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels had no chance against Micah and company. So far, so good. They got a gimme at Cleveland this week. They're 8.5-point favorites. And then we'll see if the honeymoon is over when they come to Dallas in 2 Sundays, because that will be something on a Sunday night.
That's
I'm here to tell you.
The Dallas game is how you determine if they good or not.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Skip. I agree with you. You evolve, man. You first come in the league, you one person, and then you evolve. Like I said, I did it myself.
You did.
You a first-round pick in the city of Dallas. You play for the Cowboys. You Michael Jackson like out there. Like that's one of the biggest stages you can play on.
It is.
And you might lose.
You live there. You didn't play there, but
man,
you live there.
you
live there. Yeah.
It's easy to lose focus there, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to Green Bay, you know what I'm saying? You probably got an apartment.
You do. That's what he's
You
got.
feel me? You got an apartment and you don't have shit to do. So all you could do is lock in and do football. Kind of like when I went to New England. It was like I lived in Foxborough in this little ass apartment. The family stayed in Tampa. I was by myself. I ain't had shit to do but watch this iPad. And I went from Charmander to Charizard. You know what I'm saying? Parsons going from Squirtle to War Turtle right now. Like you evolve. You know what I'm saying? We seeing the evolution of Michael Parsons, and he definitely got that defense looking amazing. They giving up, it's early, but 15 points a game, 190 passing yards. The fucking DBs are loving them right now. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely one of 4 teams who looking like they could win a chip this year. With that being the Ravens, the Bills, the Eagles, and the Packers right now looking like the top 4 teams in the league. Hey, and I think a lot of that juice, a lot of that energy was built last year. Once Parsons came through the door, it was kind of like when the Broncos brought in D. Ware. Aqib Talib, Emmanuel Sanders, T.J. Ward.
To join Vaughn.
To join Vaughn and Chris and already solid defense.
Yeah.
Once you brought us in, it cranked us up even more, and the confidence went through the roof. I feel like that's the transformation that the Packers is going through right now.
Yep.
You agree with what they saying? Because if you do, you need to let me go last.
I agree. I'll do my take last.
I'll go last.
I'll do my take last.
Too?
I agree for another reason. Let me go first?
Go ahead, man.
All right, I'm going to go a different direction in this. I'm going to take the offensive side of things.
All right.
I do think that Micah Parsons makes the Packers the best defense in the NFL when you pair him up with Van Ness and Gary and Quay Walker and all these other guys. But the reason that the Packers, in my opinion, are one of, if not the best teams in the NFL right now, are because of Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love is playing at an extremely high level right now. He really is. And he's elevated his play really for the last year and a half. He really has. In his last 10 starts, he has 2,000 yards, 13 passing touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And those 3 picks came in one game. That was the playoff game last year against the Eagles, a game to forget for Jordan Love. But he hasn't had an interception since week 11 last year against the Bears. He is taking that next step. He's playing high-level football right now. He looks comfortable in this offense. He's going through progression. He's spreading the ball around. And one of the biggest knocks on Love was his decision-making.
Yep.
He doesn't know how to protect the football. He'll make a wow throw one play and make a superhero play, and then 3 plays in a row he'll throw a costly turnover or put a ball up to where the DB can make a play on it. He has eliminated that.
Yep.
And the other thing that he's doing a really good job of right now is playing within the system. Like I said, he's going through progressions. 11 different Packers have caught a pass through 2 games. That's very impressive. He's not locking on one guy and forcing the football. He's going through progression and spreading the football around. The other thing that he's really excelled at, and that takes time and reps, and he was allowed to develop, so we're starting to see that pay off, is he knows how to read defenses, and he knows how to be decisive when he's going, wherever he's going with the football. And I think back to that first drive against the Lions, that first touchdown that he had. We had a 2x2 condensed look for the Packers. You had a corner and a return to the right, and then you had a dipper concept with a wheel on the left. Dipper is double post, the 2 Ps in it. You had Kraft and Wicks on the post, then you had a little hot motion with a wheel route to Josh Jacobs down the sideline. The Lions go 2-man. That means there's only one place to go with that football, and you have to make that decision right away. That is that bender post to Tucker Kraft. You watch Love, he goes 3 steps, hitch, ball, over the linebacker, underneath the safety. That is high-level stuff. If you hesitate for a second, you are dead. And if he can continue to do that, then the Packers are not only going to be contenders in the NFC, they have a chance to be a contender for the Super Bowl. And then the other guy I got to give credit to is Matt LaFleur. I think he's done a great job. The last 3 years in a row, the Packers have had the youngest team in football. The last 2 years, he's taken them to the playoffs. And back in 2023, they beat your beloved Cowboys, who were the 2 seed and went to Jerry's World. And I know Gil's not here today, but they went boot to ass in that game. And Jordan Love had a 99 QBR rating. And that is out of 100. He played phenomenal. So
Wait, did Micah play in that? Oh, yeah,
He did.
he played. He did play in that.
And that was the Charizard.
that was before he got to Green. He saw what
guy.
Green Bay was doing. He said, "Man, I'm not."
This is a different guy here.
In the NFL, you have to have veteran presence and you have to have experience. If you don't, then you better have a damn good leader as your head coach. And the Packers have one in Matt LaFleur. So I love Micah Parsons. I know you're going to go the defensive take on this, but the reason that the Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL isn't because of Parsons.
Not one of.
It's because
Can you
of
ask the
Jordan
question
Love
again?
and Matt LaFleur.
Ask the question again.
Has Micah Parsons turned the Packers into the NFL's best team? Micah Parsons.
The NFL's best team. We are in. Okay. We live in a microwave society where we crown or tear people down extremely early. We're in week 2. We're talking about a team being the best who beat 2 teams at home that they were favored to beat. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. I understand it looks a certain way. But the reason that I can't say they are the best, you know what best means? Battled everything, successfully triumphed. They haven't done that. We haven't seen them on the road. Who's their number 1 wide receiver? You don't know, because if they get into a position where one guy has to go make a play, who is that? They don't know yet. They're not very good on 3rd down. They only at 40%. There's a lot we don't know about this team. They haven't been through anything. They're playing very good football. But I played a lot of football myself, and I remember in 2017, the Falcons started 5-0. They finished 8-8. Last year, the Saints scored 90 points in 2 weeks, and everybody was like, woo, the Saints. How did that turn out?
Oh.
We have to relax. It looks good. They were already a playoff team with a top 10 defense. They addressed the need where they needed more pressure. Micah addressed the need. They're playing well, but we cannot push them all the way to the best team if we haven't seen them go through nothing. We seen Philly just fight through adversity. They lost their best defensive player against Dallas. I don't care if it is Dallas. That's not an easy game to win because you know the history of Dallas. Philly and Dallas usually split, so it's always a good game regardless of what the team is. They just went to Arrowhead and said, a team that we just beat wants revenge against us. They want revenge against us. And what they do? They found a way to win. That's what being the best look like. They've been through adversity. We don't even know. This team haven't even started arguing with each other yet. We don't know what it's going to look like when things go. So we can't push them to, oh, this is the best team. I love week 2 of the NFL because it's always an overreaction. Are they playing great? Are they contenders? They've been contenders. You just added Micah to a need that you needed. I'm not jumping off the bridge and saying that the Packers are the best team in the NFL. It's 8 undefeated teams right now, and it could be 2 more tonight. The Bucs can win and be undefeated. The Chargers and the Raiders both can win and be undefeated. Now we got 10 or 9 undefeated teams. Let's let it play out. They're playing great.
Look,
but
we hope you were right. I want you to be right. I want Micah to get exposed slowly but surely because his history over the last 6 or 7 games, every year he gets worn down and worn out because he's not a physical football player. He gets chipped too much. He gets overwhelmed by massive tackles, and he starts to lose his edge down the stretch of season. So I'm hoping you're right, but all I know is I can only eye test what I just saw.
Right, they look incredible. And before you go, Keith, to your point, remember you said you went to New England and you said Micah's in Green Bay and all this. He ain't really got. Bro, they played Sunday. He got there the week before. They played Sunday and then Thursday. He been there 2 weeks.
Right.
We don't even know what's going to happen if he been there for 8 weeks.
And he went against 2 of the top offenses in NFC.
Agreed.
And that shit looked terrible on offense. You know what I'm saying?
They were already in good defense.
When you played in as many championship games and Super Bowls and shit as Lee did, I don't know if you know this, G, but when you played in as many championship games as I did, you know how that shit looked from the jump. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain energy, it's a certain confidence that just oozes off that team. And the fucking Packers got it. I'm telling you.
But what got you to that point? Y'all went through something.
Nah, it's from the jump. It's off season, then you see it, boom, first game of the season.
What off season? He just got there.
Who got that championship aura oozing off of them?
A lot of people have it at the beginning of the season.
Nah, see, we looking through different lenses, G. You know what I'm saying? We looking through way different lenses. I live in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I know how that shit looks. You know what I'm saying? I got like 20 games, 15 games in the playoffs. This shit look a certain way. The energy is different. The interviews are different. The quarterback look different. You know why he looked like that? Because the confidence of the whole fucking building
100%.
is through the roof.
Yep.
So that makes him the best team in the NFL.
I mean, as if we had to label somebody the best this year, the Packers definitely. I said top 4.
2 weeks in, though. 2 weeks in.
That's all you could judge it off.
That's all we
2
have.
weeks.
But what are you
Last year
saying?
don't mean shit. Last year don't mean
You're
nothing.
leaning towards the Eagles, though.
No, I'm saying we haven't seen them do anything yet.
We
It's
have
2 weeks.
We seen them dominate the NFC chip Commanders. We seen them dominate the number 1 team.
Last year's team.
That's all we can go off of. That's all we can go off of.
That's
is what y'all did last year.
This is this year.
We can go off
you
of.
Just said we can't go off last year, but now we going off last year.
It's definitely not the.
They were favored to win at home.
The Ravens showing what they always show. A great offense.
Exactly.
We got problems.
You proving my point.
We got problems winning games. So it's
you
not the
proving my
Ravens.
point. They look excellent, and then when it's time for adversity, what is going to happen? We don't know, so we can't just jump them.
Okay, what did Detroit do yesterday? What happened?
Look
They
like the
beat
best offense in the
Chicago.
NFL.
Put up a 50
Who'd you
burger
pick
on
to win
Chicago.
the NFC? You picked Detroit.
Look like the best offense in the NFL.
Okay?
But they beat
How did they look
Chicago.
against Micah and company? They were overwhelmed. They're on their back feet.
And where was
They're
Detroit playing again?
Chicago.
Where were they playing yesterday?
at home?
At home. Where
Yeah.
is the Packers being both games?
At home.
Okay.
Okay.
So when they come out and
They
strike
didn't have
something
to.
on the road.
Did they have to travel on Thursday,
No.
or they were at home?
No, so what you're saying, though, to that point is, and you mentioned, I'm going back to the offensive side of the things. Like when you say They don't have a number one receiver. They don't have things going on offense. That's a good problem to have right now. 11 guys have caught a pass in the first 2 games. They have Wicks. They have Doves. I know.
They have Golden.
That they have Golden now. We haven't seen what he can do. I know Reed might be hurt, but they got Tucker Kraft. They got Josh Jacobs. They have weapons. And that's almost more of a problem than when you have one premier receiver on the outside, because now as a defense, you don't know who to cover.
Right.
You don't know who you're going to defend. And Jordan Love is not locking on one guy anymore like he used to, or if the play breaks down, he's putting his eyes down and taking a sack. Now he's keeping his eyes downfield and scrambling, and they're working that scramble drill against Detroit, who has a very good defense, against Washington. I know they've got some older guys on that side of the ball, but they've got a good defense, and he's doing that against them. And now you add this defense that the Green Bay Packers have, that immediately to me jumps them to the top of the NFC. I really believe that. And maybe
I mean, they ain't
I'm still in on the Bills. I think the Bills are number 1.
Who was looking like the best teams in the NFC at week 2 last year?
The Saints?
Hell no.
They scored 90 points. They blew out y'all.
Yeah.
They probably lost.
They destroyed y'all.
What did the defense score in them 90 points?
Yep.
They was blowing everybody out. They blew
you know
2
what it
teams
was
out.
at Dallas with Micah Parsons on the field in week 2? It was 35-16 New Orleans at halftime. At halftime, they hung 35 on Micah's defense, with him playing every defensive
So you're
snap.
telling me you watched that game last year and watched the Saints and said, yeah.
This is a Super Bowl team.
I'm not saying me. I'm not saying me.
Bro, it's an aura.
I don't crown people off 2-3 games. I don't even when I
crown
rank. But listen, y'all just did. Y'all just said they the best.
Right now, in this moment, I would take Green Bay. From what I have, based off of the information I have in these 2 weeks, absolutely, I'm taking Green Bay to win the NFC.
Green Bay looks incredible.
I think it's going to be Green Bay.
Let me say this. They look incredible. But let's give it some time before I say they're the best.
But who else looks incredible?
Right now.
Right now, who else looks incredible?
Buffalo still look incredible.
Okay.
It's a lot of
I say that. If she would ask the question about Buffalo,
I'm picking Philly to beat Packers right now because they've been through something.
If she would have asked that about Philly, I would have said, yeah, they look like the best team in the league too.
But the Packers and Philly play right now. I'm taking Philly because they've been through something.
I think Philly's offense right now, how they're playing, struggles against this Green Bay defense. I really do. After what I saw yesterday,
they're going to find a way to win. We don't know if this team been tested.
But I think they struggle.
Okay, what do your eyes
answer.
tell you about the Packers long term? Do you think they're going to go 9-8?
No, they was already a playoff team. They win 11 games last year, and then you just added Micah Parsons to a top 10 defense. We know 10, 11, 12 wins was minimum for this team.
Okay, so you saying?
But I'm not jumping them to the best team because how good did the Chargers just look?
Okay, are the Eagles going to win the NFC?
Can this team? Okay, we watched Baltimore lose to Buffalo.
That don't mean they wasn't the best team.
No, listen. But I'm saying, if you look at Baltimore play, top to bottom, I believe Baltimore still can beat Green Bay. I cannot just put them as the number 1 team in the NFL off 2 weeks.
Okay, who did you pick to get to the Super Bowl?
I picked Baltimore and the Bucks.
Okay.
I'm picking the Bucks to beat the Packers right now.
Oh,
Bucks.
Absolutely.
No.
Go Baker.
I mean, you love
Baker, but I don't think that's happening.
Jordan Love
But
is
what
playing
have you
really
seen
good,
then
but we
in one
talk about
game
Matt
from the
LaFleur.
Bucks?
He caused the heck out of these games.
Yeah,
They
a
should've
dog.
He called the heck out of these games.
The Bucks should have lost.
You've seen one game from the Bucks
Hey,
so far.
listen,
What
I
have you
don't
seen?
do that. Shoulda. What happened?
The kicker
They
missed
won.
the kick. That's what happened.
They won.
The kicker
You
missed the
can't
kick.
say
So did the
That's bad.
Packers.
They don't have that aura. When I watched the Bucks, I didn't say, "Oh, look at that fucking championship aura, bro." You can see it. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I mean, they almost lost that land. I mean, it was the last play of the game, which was a hell of a play.
But also, how much is
I'm
the
not-
energy around Micah going into the Packers or Super Bowl team? I think there's just a lot of hype right now.
Yeah, that's how it goes, though.
He energized the heck out of
This is a
them.
momentum league.
You remember when Khalil Mack went to Chicago? How he energized the heck out of that team?
Yeah.
That's what Micah did. He energized the heck out of them. But as the season went on, we see they look good right now. But let's see what happens when they start getting tested.
You don't think-
You know how I know they been tested? Because they ain't played the Cowboys. When they play the Cowboys, we gonna find out. Ain't that right?
Do you think the Cowboys are the test?
That's what Skip
Skip saying. Skip is
said. The
convinced.
Cowboys is a test, so that's what we go.
I feel like
I use the word honeymoon because this is a honeymoon phase they're in.
It feels great right now. They played the first game and then immediately Thursday, they just rolled the momentum at a home game.
To the point of not looking at last year and not looking at past seasons, I get it. Every year's a new team. But the Packers have had retention. They've had consistency with their head coach. They've had Jordan Love, who's developed. They have players on that roster that are good players, and they've kept those guys around. They're not cleaning house every single year. you can see a team have that upward trajectory. I feel like this is a year based off of what we've seen. I know it's only 2 games. I'm not crowning them Super Bowl champs. We're not getting the rings ready. We're not getting the parade ready to go in Green Bay. But based off of those 2 games and what I've seen in the past and how they've developed, especially with how Jordan Love's playing and the leadership of Matt LaFleur, I believe they're the best team in the NFL.
Bro, the best team in the NFL don't necessarily win the Super Bowl. The best team last year was the Lions to me until they got decimated with injuries. You know what I'm saying? They was the best team. Everybody got hurt. Then they had to find a way. You know what I'm saying? So the best team don't necessarily win the Super Bowl every year. They not the champs. The Ravens might be the best team, but they don't win the Super Bowl every year because they best player, he gets nervous in big games.
Well, you just said the Ravens might be the best team.
Yeah, they might be.
Green Bay, did that mean Green Bay ain't the best team?
Well, see, we got different definitions of the best team. We got different definitions of the best. I got 4 teams that all 4 of y'all looking like y'all could be the best team in the league right now.
Agreed.
But before
So
the
I don't think it's just gonna be one team.
I just
Like the best corner, it don't gotta be one guy. It's like we can argue about it.
We go year to year, which is fine. And I have question marks for the Packers. I have question marks for Philly. You got question marks for everybody in week 2.
Right.
You, like you said, you lived in the playoffs. You know. You don't know who's really who until about week 8, 9-ish. Now you like, okay, these are the ones. It's week 2. All I'm saying is they're playing great. But these 2 weeks, I'm not just going to be like, oh, yep, put the Packers at the top. Because of 2 weeks?
Yeah.
We ain't seen nothing.
But you could see it out the gate. Did you look at the Panthers? Did you look at the Raiders after they win and say, ooh, they might could go win a chip?
No, but it's only like
because that
7 to 8.
aura,
It's only like 7 to 8 contenders realistically every year anyway, and the Packers was already in it. They were already in that.
And out of them 7, 8 contenders, when you come out looking like the Packers, you're like, oh shit. Out of the 7, 8 contenders, woo, they fucking hot right now.
Yeah, they hot
looking
right
like
now. But I'm not gonna just jump you all the way. We've seen players. I seen corners come out, and I'm like, hey, he really balling. That don't make him better than Keeb. Look at all that Keeb done did. I'm not just gonna say, oh, he better than Keeb because he got 4 picks in the first 4 weeks. No, that's not what that means. It means he started hot. He not better than the Keeb. I don't care what y'all I don't crown people just because we seen a couple good games. You can't just jump over all these teams that's been. What about Buffalo? All the tests that they done been.
I got Buffalo winning the Super Bowl, and I still think they do. But that doesn't mean I think the Buffalo in the first half.
The question was the best team. They are one of the best. They've been one of the best.
Yeah, but see, in football,
they just made them better.
The best is not just one person. Like, this football now. Like, you know what I'm saying? A Burrow situation happened to the Eagles, and then they just dropped down. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like it's not just the one best team. That's a broad answer. Who the best? All right, that's about top 4 teams who looking like the best. All these boys looking like they the best.
That's right. Hey, listen, like I said, it's 8 undefeated teams. It could be 10 by the end of the night.
Okay, but the point is, the 2 most impressive games we've seen, eye test games, were played by the Green Bay Packers.
They were.
Albeit at home in big stage. They got a 4:25 game, late day game, and then they got the Thursday night game.
And Skip has been the biggest hater of the Packers for weeks since we've been here. So if you're saying that, I think obviously we've seen.
Well, I mean, you got to give up what you see.
Top to bottom, the 2 most impressive games we've seen are the Packers.
Yes, that's the point.
Ask me that.
So based off of what that information.
That don't make
okay, so let me ask you this. If the team who played the 2 most impressive games this year, are they not looking like the best team in the league?
They look like they played the 2 most impressive games. That don't make you the best. So if I come out in the NBA, no, I'm not. So if I come out in the NBA and I average 40 for the first 2 games, I'm the best player in the league.
You are looking like the best player in the league.
No, you're not.
You are. Hey, and we would be sitting here having that same conversation.
It's
hey,
2
McCoy's dropping 40 games, balling.
If y'all was getting blew out and they put all the 2s in and you dropped 20 in the 4th against some bum niggas, then we'd be like, all right, he ain't looking like that. But if you played 2 of the top teams in the league, and you fucking dominated, killed the game, and dropped 40, niggas gonna be like, hey, G is looking like the best player in the league
right now, bro. Based off of
right now, he's looking like the best player in the league.
That's what
No, what if you came out and played the Oklahoma City Thunder defense the first game and Houston's defense the second game, and you went 40 and 40? I'd say that's it, man.
Yeah,
you're it.
Hey,
he looked real good, but there's a guy right up the street that's still in the league. There's a guy that's in Houston that's still in the league. That Oklahoma City guy that just won MVP, he's still in the league. There's another guy that's right up the street. There's 2 of them on that team that's still in the league. You look good them 2 games, but let's remember who these other people are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm
best
saying.
player ever in conversations. And
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
one last point on this. Remember, Micah couldn't have gotten dropped into a better place at a better moment because they're front running in both games because they jump out ahead so he can do what he does best. Jerry said at the press conference after he traded him, we just don't trust him against the run because he's never played the run, and you can laugh and say, yeah, but what he does best is rush the passer.
True.
But he became a liability against the run. So I'm looking at his snaps. He played 30 that first Sunday game, and only 6 came on running plays. Okay, so they're having to throw because they're behind. And then on Thursday night, he plays 47 snaps. Only 7 times did Detroit run the football while he was in the game. When New Orleans came to Dallas for that 35-point game, they're just giving it to Kamara every time, running at Mike over on the right side. And then Baltimore comes in week 3 at Dallas. They're just he is audibling to Micah's side with the run every time. They ran for 274 yards. So he's in the perfect spot with 3 other first-round picks across the front, and Edgerrin Cooper, who's a second-round pick, who might be the baddest man long run on that defense playing against the run. You couldn't be in a sweeter spot than he fell into. It's like I used to call him 11 from heaven when he was a rookie. Now 11 went to number 1, but number 1's in heaven up in Green Bay,
for real.
right? Seriously, that's heaven for him. But we'll see how long that lasts.
And I think it's his circumstances too. You kind of get off that pedestal a little bit in Green Bay. Even though the media is cranking him up, the city is nothing to do, bro.
Let's see when
he goes to a sandwich shop. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then he from up north. He like that Timberlands and bubble jackets. He like to play in that. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you need to see then? By what week, if the Packers are still rolling, are you going to say?
They play the Browns, Cowboys, Bengals, Cardinals, Steelers, Panthers. So I guess we still ain't gonna know for 5.
And what if they don't have any adversity through those first 8 games?
Listen,
I guess we still ain't
how
gonna
I operate. Here's how I operate. I don't care if you Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, or if you nobody and nobody. When I base stuff, I keep the same basis for everything. By week 8 or 9, we know who's who.
Okay.
And at that point, I can say, you know what? The Packers going to be hard to keep out.
8 or 9? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's mid-season.
By week 8, they're going to be fucking 8-0.
That's mid-season.
They're going to be 8-0 by week 8. They're going to be 8-0.
7-1.
And then as we go, and then as we go into it, as the season goes on, you go into the playoffs, and then that's where everything changes. You know, that's where everything starts to flip again.
Yep.
Because now it's who can game plan the best, who elevates they play.
Yeah.
All we can go off is the regular season versus the playoffs. There's 2 different things. But by week 8, 9, 10-ish now, because they added a game, if the Packers are still here, it's like, okay, now you're being unrealistic.
Clip it.
2 weeks.
Hey, clip it.
Hey, this is my camera 7. Hey,
Clip it.
Listen, week 8 or 9, the Packers still doing what we seeing. I have no problem. This is how I feel. I'm a phenomenal loser. Like, I can take an L and I lost. Oh, but don't let me be right. Ooh, don't let me be right. But if I'm wrong, I come in and say, hey, listen, y'all was right, this and this, but it's still not going to change nothing for me. I don't crown people as fast. I don't put quarterbacks because they had a good rookie year. Oh, he's elite. No, he's not. I don't put a guy who had one good season because I've seen too much football where I see a player have a phenomenal. I seen Jason Babin get 18 sacks and then never to be heard from again.
But that year he got them 18 sacks, he was looking like the damn best.
Yeah, but then we come into the next year, and then what happened? I've seen too much to where I don't crown people too early. So I'm not saying the Packers are not legit. I'm saying they're not the best because we haven't seen anything
Okay,
yet.
but if I rephrase the question and said, who's the current from what we've seen, right? That's all I had to say.
I'm still not going to say the Packers.
Who are you saying then?
The Bills.
I still got Philly.
Oh, Philly and the Bills.
Look at what they just did. They've had 2 adversity-filled games, and they came out on top. They found a way. That's when you know you've been through something. That's why I said best. Battled everything, successfully triumphed. They've been through everything, and they're still winning. Kansas City, I was there for training camp. I watched them, how they felt. How they felt about Philly, Look at the difference in the game. Look at how the defense played. I know Jalen didn't play his best game, but look at the intensity of the defense. Kansas City, we're going to get into this, but Kansas City's dealing with a lot on the offensive side of the ball, but look at the intensity. Jalen Hurts didn't play the best, but what happened when when rubber needed to meet the road? They blitzed everybody. He threw that thing up, and Devontae found a way. Get off me. Let me get this. We getting in this end zone.
And then they ran the damn tush push over and over. That's what happened.
Hey, but guess what?
Started and
what did the end of that score say? W versus L. They got the W. That's all I'm saying.
It was a drop ball by All-Pro away.
Hey, listen. Sometimes they gotta go your way, man.
You know it's gonna get.
Okay, 57% of the chat is saying the Packers are the best team in the NFL, but obviously
it's not more.
Yeah,
because they know what I know. It's 2 weeks.
And there's a lot of people in contention.
Somebody got to be the best through 2 weeks.
But let's talk Aaron Rodgers.